In the name of God, who wishes every man and woman and child that lives in the lands of Syria and Iraq to be clothed and adorned, and to be living in the luxury of all of the fruits of the labors of mankind from across the world. This is the city of Idlib, and Idlib is very connected, especially in the north, towards the north, as you can see. For Idlib, there are highways that go to the east and west, and then 3 highways going towards the northern areas, and those make Idlib very connected with Sarmada and Aleppo. There are about 3 million people living here around the area of Idlib, and there is a farmland to support the food economy and meet the food needs, and then for rebuilding, those natural resources would need to be moved from other locations or purchased from other locations, and all of the fruits of mankind that adorn your home, every household, those would come from these highways. There would be any of these cities in the near area with a roadway would be heavily economically connected with Idlib. And so these are the natural lifelines or veins, arteries of life. Then there is the political borderland here of Hatay, and there is another maybe 2 to 3 million Syrian people living in this area here without an actual permanent household. And that brings a great part of the population of all of Syria. So this is all of Syria here. And the population of 22 million has been broken in half so that it's 50% of the population now in the country, and that they have been pushed entirely this way. This is the freelance here. To see where the people live, in Syria. In Syria, you'll see that this is the lights at night, the city lights at night, and that is a direct indicator, direct sign about how many people live there. So this is Aleppo, this is Damascus, this is Homs, this is Hama, and this is Lebanon, this is Beirut, this is the Syrian coast, this is Hatay province, or Iskenderun and Antalya, I believe. So this is Gaziantep. This is the Euphrates. This is Hazaka. This is Raqqa. This is This is Palmyra, and this is Deir ez-Zor, and this is the two rivers. And this takes you into Iraq. This is the Tigris. This is Mosul. And this is Baghdad. I'm sorry, this is... We'll look at the map. Erbil. And this is Syria here. This area here. So this is where the people were, and now, and we don't have electricity here. We don't have infrastructure to support how the 20 million have been cut in half and entirely pushed this way. And there is also a great number of Syrian people here at the borders of Jordan as well, and this area of Lebanon. So, and that's also naturally where the populations are. They're going to be in these three areas. The population, all of the people are going to be found here at the Black Nile River in Egypt. They're going to be here on the east coast of the White Sea, and they're going to be here in the land of the two rivers and into the Arabian Sea. And you can see how this is Tehran and how it's these people are completely connected here. These desert lands separate them. The focusing of the population, of the people, of where they live, is dependent on water sources being there. And if there's no water, we can't live. If there is water, if there is a riverway, there's just this incredible focus of power. So Idlib is a city that is strongly connected with any large city near him. And the biggest ones are. So here is Idlib, and you can see, if we come into the area of Idlib, that very near, within 50 to 100 kilometers, we're going to be connected by a highway very near, within an hour's drive, to this grand city of Aleppo. There would be an incredible strength of economic ties. That if it's, how can you control 1 million people with a government and a security force? How can you break the bonds of the economy with your security forces? Well, it's taken the entire army of Erdogan here around Idlib in order to be able to separate, and the moment he moves his forces, he will not stop the traffic. They will immediately connect, and his burden will forever be to try and hold this separate. Millions. He will be forever holding millions back, and especially angry millions. Then you have Gaziantep, which has been separated by a political border, but this is 2 million people. This is an incredible density of people, and to hold the borders, to separate the economies here, has been to hold back millions of people and stop the connections. And the roadways are essential to the movement. There is a large network of highways, and this travel is 10 kilometers. So 20 kilometers to Idlib, 20 kilometers to Afrin, 50 kilometers to Gaziantep. And the world, to have a population of millions of people here is a force of nature. It's a force of God, because only God can make another man. And to have them here is it's connecting these people with all of this area. So for Idlib, life is this way. And to stop millions of people living in the cities of Gaziantep, Aleppo, and in this area, Homs, to tell anyone here you will not go this way is very crazy. How are you going to stop us? We are millions. And so they try, and there's security everywhere, and we're trying to hold us back. And this is the way of life. And the other connections that you will see when we turn around show you how heavily connected this area is here to each other, and how strongly it must be that millions of people are bonded economically, how strong and close the ties are, and how inseparable they are going to be. So because all of this economic life and these millions of people have nowhere to go, only this way. And otherwise, you would have to channel them all into a small passage. So there's only one way of life here. So from Idlib, which is where we now will find Abu Mariya Al Qahtani, he will be, after all of his time and everything he has seen with his eyes, he is now here in Idlib. He's sitting here now in Idlib, right outside here of Idlib, over here in this corner, we believe. So maybe that's where. And the people in these cities, Aleppo, Gaziantep, they access all of the world by connecting to this ocean front. That makes them inseparable from this Hatay area and Iskenderun. Iskenderun has all of these people behind him, and it has this highway passage with all of these roads. There's roads this way, and they're all coming in. And there is a group of people here, even that behind the mountains, that are showing the force of the connection of the people, of the life. It's just life. And there is monopolies on natural resources that are allowing groups to use security forces to control cities. And then thus, by controlling the city and the monopoly on the natural resources, they have ability to They look like they're controlling countries. They look like it. Like, for example, in Damascus, he looks like he is controlling the country, but this man, Bashar al-Assad, he will never walk free in this country again. He will never sleep safe at night without security forces. He will forever search for money to protect himself from his history, from his own history, and from his own country. And how can you ever get the people back here, the millions of people back here, to raise up the economic defense? He sent them out to start. It was his idea to send them out. And so these great numbers of people who are the economic, a great economic strength and a force of life, a force of nature, are going to always need to connect this way. And the economy there now is being blocked here at these roads. So that would make the strongest connections for Syria. The strong connection for Syria is from Gaziantep through Aleppo. This is 2 million people. 2 million people here in Aleppo. 3 million people here in Idlib. 3 to 4 million now here in Hatay province because the population has been displaced. Hama, Homs, some of the biggest areas, as you see on the light map. The life is focused there. A very strong force of life is focused there. Gaziantep, Aleppo, Hama, Homs, Idlib, Iskenderun, Damascus, Andara, Lebanon, Beirut. This is the people. So they will connect from the north down to the south through this highway, and there is a pipeline that runs from the north to the south as well. And you will find that Damascus and Beirut are very near. It is a 2-hour drive from Beirut to Damascus. For Damascus, all of this empty desert land is behind you. The only way to go for Damascus is to Homs, out to Palmyra, or out to Ramadi. But via these highways here, you can go out from Damascus only on these highways here out to Palmyra and over to Deir ez-Zor, or you can go north to Homs and Aleppo and Gaziantep, or you can go south to Amman, and you can go to Beirut. But you cannot go, there's no big groups of people or cities here. There's no strong power base here. It's all focused, as you see. So Damascus is a economic heartline. These are the same body economically and connect. These people that live here must connect, and there can never be bad rulers in these places. As you can see, this government has lost control, is controlling and by security forces only. For the city of Amman. This is the capital of Jordan and the focus of the people, Amman. And near him is, this is 4 million people here in Amman, 1.5 million in Zarqa, and 2 million in Irbid. So the total population of Jordan is like 10 million. So this is half of the population living in 1, 2, 3 cities, all entirely focused here. And these are on one side of the Jordan River. The nearest power city is Damascus, which is so strongly connected with Beirut, and Beirut is 3 million. So this puts a powerful force of Amman, Damascus, and Beirut. These are the powers here. Then to this side is Jerusalem and Tel Aviv with 1.5 million. This is incomparable. There is, between the cities of Amman, Damascus, and Beirut, there's 10 million. And Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, it's nearly 2 million. This is nothing. This is 20% of his power, of his ability to hold economic power. So they try to change the power by using the natural resources, by selling more gas or selling more natural resources to try to change the balance of power. So these are very small cities. They will never hold power over these millions in this upper area, from Gaziantep to Damascus to Amman. So they are overpowered, and this is the last stronghold. This is 2 million people focused into this area. This is the last big city. It's Gaza City. It's 1 million people focused into this city here. And you can see how the roads are cut. So this is the highways. This yellow, these are the highways that take you, these highways take you through all of the east coast of Israel, all across the cities, but they stop here. These highways completely stop. They go around. The highway stops here. This is Gaza and Gaza City. There are no highways this way. These are routes. They have been closed and grayed out. So these are the old connections. This would have connected the economy, and it's been blocked. They even took it off of Google Maps. And this is the highway from Sinai going into the city, Beersheba. And then from this city, the highway goes in 5 directions. The highway, it's going this way on the highway, 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 highway. And these connect here. So these are the economic connections here for Gaza City that have been separated. These are the roadways. This is how you would get in these ways. Or you can use, this road is coming across this way. You would need to open this road to come across here. And so these areas, there is a situation now in Idlib where the economy is being blocked. All of the roads are being blocked. The economy is being blocked. The city is being disconnected. And we're gonna start to tell the history of this man. This is how I know this man, in this way. He was writing papers to the people to tell them about, to report about what happened And he is one of 4 people who came to start this group, Jabhat al-Nusra, for Syria. And so this group came from another country into Syria when they saw there was a free Syrian army being made. The Free Syrian Army is the soldiers of Assad who said, I cannot follow this man anymore, and took all of his family and ran for his life. And this is the Free Syrian Army. It's all of the commanders of Assad who disappeared from him, who defected from him. And so this group, Jabhat al-Nusra, they said it is made of, Jolani himself said it's made of 4 men who came to establish this army. And we know that the army got very big very fast, and that it was said about them that they know how to fight. And this is because they know about, they were helping when the war in Iraq happened. So, and this was 10 years before. So, according to the Wikipedia, there's 6 men who started Jabhat al-Nusra. So with 6 men, and they are reporting there was, the army was 6,000 men. Quickly, this means all one leader controls 1,000 men. This is more than you can do. So when 6 men come in and establish 6,000 men army in 6 months, it tells you that this man is having a very high chair. It's 1,000 men. And so this is the idea of the group. This is the 6 men that you have in the room. And one of them, as we know, was this one. He was writing letters to the people, telling them about what was happening. And he is known to be from this place. So from the city Idlib, you connect with Gaziantep and Aleppo. And when you turn down the Euphrates River, which is the river of life for this area, all of the life, it's focused into this area. You come to this great cities of Baghdad. So Baghdad is the controlling power for Mosul. And this is a great focus of the people. There are going to be 8 million in Baghdad, and then another 2 million and 1 million here in Erbil and Mosul. And this is showing you clearly that the life is connected with the river. Where the rivers come together, more people live. So Mosul is one of the greatest cities of Iraq, and because the city is very near to this very big city of Baghdad, 8 million. The 8 million control the area. That's where the power is. Baghdad controls Mosul and Erbil. And because he is near him, he is the biggest one near him. And it's why another city did not. And you can see where the people are. The people are where the lights are, here in this place here. And here is where the Commander Qahtani is from, one of the biggest cities here, Mosul. And so his strongest connections are to these highways, the highways, 3 of them leading to the great city of Erbil, heavily connected with Baghdad, and also all of the life moves this way down through Tikrit, Samarra, and down to Baghdad. So this is the economic connection. And as it goes north, the only great city you will find is Mardin, which is nearly 1 million. Dir Bekir and Batman, these are millions. These are million people cities. This is a very big 1 million. And then here in Sanilurfa, so this is, I believe, 2 million, nearly 2 million. So for the city here in the north of Iraq, the greatest powers are Baghdad. This is Mosul. The greatest powers are here in Baghdad, and here in these great cities here of Turkey, which is the 2 million Sanilurfa, million in Diyarbakir, million in Batman and Mardin. So these are strong economic connections that have been blocked by a border, but the number of people, it's too big. That to continue to hold back the millions of the people of the economy is needing a strong security block to stop the life of the people from connecting. And the minute the security forces lose his power, the people will push through, then the economies will be connected. They will come right through all of the highways. There's roads everywhere. They will just jump in the car and go. The Abu Mariya Al Qahtani, this is him in this time, as this is how the people see him. He was a young man, and I never knew his face. This is only long after that now we know. And still, if he is together with someone, he's covering his face. So we know that Qahtani is one of the 4 that had came from Iraq to start the Nusra Front, which was taking power from the Free Syrian Army. And that he came with other men that were Jordanian, from Jordan and Palestine. And as you know, as you can see very clear, that they are connected. That the cities are so strongly economically linked. So what are the Jordanians doing in the Syrian war? Well, there's Amman, Jordan, and there's Damascus. So they would have just come this way, or they were this way, and they would have just, this is where all the life is anyway. So they would just be naturally connected. The Jordanians and the Palestinians that knew about the history of the war that happened here moved this way, and they moved into these areas here. And some of his work was to establish a group. So this man, Abu Mariya Al Qahtani, he changed his operational leader to make a group that was very connected with the Turkish interests. So there is competing interests here. There is the North, Turkey, that's moving this way, and there is the South, which is the Arabian Sea, which is in Kuwait, which is moving up this way. So those are the two economic ties, the North and the South, and also this West. So this is what Syria was facing, and he was known to make this group, which is the Arir al-Sharqiya. And the idea of this group is to grab all of the people from all of the men, all of the families, all of the life of the land from Deir ez-Zor and Hazaka. Any men who could not connect with anyone, so that would be from Deir ez-Zor and Hazaka. This is the area, and as you know, this man, it's from Mosul. So for him to move this way, it was the only way of life. This is the way. This is the connections of the people. This is the city connection. And he came this way, and he said, anyone from this place of Hazaka and Deir ez-Zor, which this is Hazaka. So there's just 7 roads this way in Hazaka, and then the roads there's 2, and there's many, and they all connect in Deir ez-Zor. And so his idea was to grab any families and groups and people from these areas. And as we know, this original group from Jabhat al-Nusra to Arar al-Sharqiya to Tahrir al-Sham, and this is the Qahtani that we know now. The Qahtani that we know now is much older, and this is the Qahtani that we know now, this one. And we know that he was taken to he is now in Idlib. He is now in Idlib jail. So we wish, inshallah, we will continue the story of the history of the economy of Syria and the connections with the other lands, and the story of the Mujahir Sheikh Abu Mariya Al Qahtani. Allahu Akbar.